Want to leverage the new 529 to Roth IRA transfer rules? I've got two incredible strategies you've got to check out. That and more coming up. My name's Mike Bernard. I'm the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. That's right, it is legal. You are allowed to transfer, within lots of limitations, but transfer some $529 into Roth IRAs. Now, they haven't figured out the logistics yet. All the paperwork is not ready. I haven't seen it happen yet, but it's allowed. It's the law. And hopefully later this year, that the logistics will be sorted out and you'll be able to start making these transfers. Some of the rules regarding this is the 529 needs to be open for at least 15 years. So that's going to rule a lot of people out. You're going to be waiting patiently. You can transfer to the Roth IRA of the beneficiary of the 529 plan. That's the actual student or the child or whatever that's listed on the 529 plan. So you can transfer it, a chunk to their Roth. Well, how much can you transfer? Well, up to the Roth IRA contribution limit for that year. They also can't make a contribution to their Roth out of pocket. So this is basically making a Roth contribution from a 529 plan. The lifetime maximum that you can make a transfer from a Roth or from a 529 to the Roth is 35 grand. And you're not able to transfer any dollars that you'd contributed in the last 5 years or the growth on those dollars. So lots of limitations, rules to figure out. And so work with your certified financial planner, see if this is a strategy you should consider. However, I've got two incredible strategies where you can leverage this and really maximize this new rule depending on your situation. Let's get into the first one. All right, strategy number one, the year your child's born, you take 10 grand and you put it into their 529 plan. So first year, and obviously cash is tight, but you open up a 529 plan for your newborn child, you throw 10 grand into it, okay? You invest it prudently. Maybe it's growing at 8% a year. So not an outrageous percentage, but very realistic. After 16 years, no additional contributions, 10 grand earning 8% average per year would grow to around 35 grand. And this child's now 16. At 16, you encourage that child to get a part-time job or they start working or whatever. And at that point, you've had the 529 for 15 years, met that criteria. You haven't funded anything in the last 5 years, so you don't have to worry about that one. And the child's working, so you're eligible to start contributing to their Roth IRA. So you start transferring. It takes you maybe 5 years to transfer from their 529, this 10 grand that you originally put in there that grew to 35 grand. Takes you about 5 years to transfer money from that 529 into their Roth IRA. Now, say over those 5 years, child's now 22 years old. They've got 35 grand. I'm not accounting for any of the growth that might happen during those 5 years. At 22 years old, they've got 35 grand in their Roth IRA. Say they don't contribute anything at all, earning 8% a year. Again, not overly aggressive, over 45 years. So now in their mid-60s, 67, that original 10 grand that you put into their 529 is worth over $1.1 million. 10 grand into that newborn child's 529 plan. Meeting allows you to check all the boxes for the rules that allow you to transfer money from a 529 to the Roth and just letting that grow. Obviously, they're going to contribute more and all of that, but over $1.1 million by the time they're in retirement. What a fantastic strategy. Obviously relies on a lot of different assumptions, right? But extremely possible. And the best part, that 10 grand, well, the best part, the 10 grand to 1.1 million, but all of that growth completely tax-free. Advanced strategy number two, okay? So say you're in your mid-40s, middle of your career, say 45, and you're doing well. And you actually make too much money and you can't fund a Roth IRA directly. So what do? You open up a 529 plan for yourself. Maybe you are the same person that did strategy number one, scenario number one. But in this instance, you also open a 529 plan where you're the beneficiary. and you throw 10 grand in there around 45. You make too much money to do your own Roth contribution, so you're doing backdoor Roths or you're doing mega backdoor Roths. You're still aggressively funding retirement because you've got resources and you've got an aggressive goal. But you put 10 grand into your 529 plan in your mid 40s and you wait 16 years. And again, same scenario. You're not aggressive. We're not overly optimistic about what the markets might perform. So 8% average return. And therefore, around 16 years later, that 10 grand has grown to about 35 grand. So here you are, your early 60s, say 62, and you've got 10,000 that's grown to 35 grand into a 529 plan. Well, at 62, because you've been saving aggressively, you shift to semi-retired and you go part-time, or you restructure your hours and your time so that you're working a little bit less, but you're staying on the group health insurance and you're making all of this fit. Well, because you're still working, you're eligible to contribute to retirement accounts, and because you're earning less, you're now eligible to contribute to that Roth IRA. Well, because you're earning less, you don't really want to do that out of cash flow. Therefore, you move it from your 529 that you had funded 16 years ago. You'd put 10 grand in there, it grew to 35. You've had this 529 for at least 15 years. You haven't contributed anything in the past 5, so you don't need to worry about that limitation. And because you're over age 50 at this point, you can do the Roth contribution. You can also do the catch up on that. So we'll still say it takes you 5 years. It might take you less than that, maybe 4, but say it takes you 5 years to transfer up to the maximum each year from that 529 into your Roth IRA. Now you're in your mid to late 60s and you've transferred that 35 grand that was originally 10 into your Roth IRA. You completely retire. Well, because it's Roth IRA, these are some of the last dollars that you touch. And let's just say 20 years goes by, and again, you're investing it appropriately or not too aggressively, and you can average an 8% rate of return. Well, that 35 grand grows to over 150 grand by the time you're in your mid 80s. And that original 10 that you put into the 529 plan has grown to over 150 grand, actually over 160 grand, all of that tax-free to you. Those are just 2 of the pretty incredible strategies that you can consider with this new 529 to Roth rule that is allowed right now. And also the power of compound interest, right? Compound growth, and proactive financial planning, and having a vision for these creative financial strategies that you can apply in your financial life. That's the job of your certified financial planner, providing you confidence and clarity on your financial situation, but also creative solutions to help you get from where you are to where you want to be. If you don't have a CFP on your team, you can contact one on my team. Find us online, Korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with K, wisemoneyshow.com. You can find us there as well, or give us a call, 574-247-5898. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.